When AI analyzed over 2 million workout programs and was asked, what's the fastest way to build muscle? It didn't give the usual advice you hear everywhere. It didn't say, eat more protein, or lift heavier, or even get more sleep. Instead, it gave one simple, almost shocking instruction: delete everything that doesn't build muscle. That's right, out of millions of workouts, 99% of them were simply unnecessary distractions. Everything that didn't directly stimulate muscle growth was eliminated, and what remained? A concise, highly efficient system that maximizes results while minimizing wasted effort. Here's how it worked. AI approached the problem by asking a few fundamental questions about every exercise and training program. First, does this exercise hit the right muscles? Second, does it push those muscles hard enough to stimulate growth? Third, can a person realistically recover in time to train again? Once it had the answers, AI asked one final, critical question: how many exercises are truly necessary to satisfy all three conditions? Surprisingly, the answer was just 5. Out of thousands of options, only 5 exercises checked all the boxes, enough to stimulate complete muscle growth without overloading the body or wasting time. With the perfect exercises identified, AI didn't stop there. It moved to the next major question: how often should a person train, and when does training become too much? This is where AI's analysis surpassed what most humans ever attempt. It sifted through thousands of training logs, progress reports, and recovery data, analyzing how muscles actually respond to repeated stress. The conclusion was fascinating. Muscles generally need about 48 hours to recover before being stimulated again. That means the fastest growth occurs when each muscle group is trained 2 to 3 times per week, hitting roughly 10 to 20 hard sets per muscle group weekly. This gave a clear structure: not too little to stall progress, but not too much to risk overtraining. Now, understanding frequency is only part of the equation. How hard should you actually train? This is where most people fail. 99% of gym goers, in fact. AI discovered that the most significant gains come when sets are performed near failure, just 1 or 2 reps shy of being unable to complete another repetition. Stopping too early is a surefire way to stall growth. In fact, studies show that when trained individuals were asked to stop 1 rep from failure, most still had 3 to 5 reps left. This exposes a critical point. Your brain often quits before your muscles do. When fatigue hits, pushing through that burn safely is what tells your body to grow stronger. Another revelation from AI's analysis addressed one of the most overlooked factors in muscle building: rest timing. 2 people could perform the exact same workout using the same weights, reps, and sets, yet one would see tremendous growth while the other barely changes. Why? The difference came down to rest periods between sets. Rest controls how much strength you bring into the next set, and strength is directly linked to muscle growth. Data showed the optimal rest window is between 60 to 120 seconds. Shorter rests lead to incomplete recovery, limiting your reps and intensity. Longer rests allow muscles to cool and reduce the stimulus. Striking the right balance ensures maximum growth while preserving effort and intensity. Rest between exercises also matters, but the principle is simple. For heavy compound lifts like deadlifts or squats, rest 2 to 3 minutes to fully recover and maintain strength. For smaller isolation exercises like bicep curls or lateral raises, 1 to 2 minutes is sufficient. Following these timing strategies ensures that every set you perform contributes to growth rather than being wasted effort. But what about weight? How heavy should you lift to build muscle? AI shattered a major myth. You don't have to lift insanely heavy to grow. What actually matters is how you control the weight during each repetition. Every rep has 2 phases: the concentric phase when you lift the weight and the eccentric phase when you lower it. AI found that the eccentric phase, lowering the weight slowly in a controlled manner, stimulates the most muscle growth. Spending 2 to 3 seconds on the eccentric portion keeps muscles under tension longer, which is the signal your body uses to grow. Lift explosively, but maintain control, and your muscles respond more efficiently. Form is non-negotiable. Even minor deviations, shortening range of motion, twisting or rushing a rep, can reduce growth by over 20%. Muscles respond to tension and precision, not just the weight on the bar. Another key insight is the principle of progressive overload. Muscles stop growing if they're exposed to the same stress repeatedly. AI confirmed what fitness enthusiasts have long suspected but rarely implement correctly. Workouts must get harder over time. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. If the enemy remains the same, your skills remain stagnant. To force adaptation, you must challenge your muscles incrementally. Start by adding reps. If you performed 8 reps last week, aim for 9 or 10 this week. Once 10 reps are manageable, increase the weight slightly and drop back to fewer reps. Finally, you can increase the total volume, adding sets if needed, but staying within 10-20 hard sets per muscle group per week to avoid overtraining. This simple, structured loop ensures continual progress. Returning to AI's original question, what exercises are necessary to check all 3 boxes? Here's the breakdown of the 5 essential movements. First, the trap bar deadlift. This is arguably the most efficient compound lift. It engages the glutes, hamstrings, quads, traps, and forearms simultaneously. The trap bar design centers the weight, reducing stress on the lower back and minimizing injury risk. This allows heavier lifting, more frequent sessions, and better recovery. Second, the incline dumbbell press. While most lifters focus on flat benching, this exercise specifically targets the upper chest, an area often neglected. Dumbbells allow a deeper stretch, improved control, and reduced shoulder strain compared to barbells. The third exercise is the Bulgarian split squat. While traditional squats are excellent, split squats train each leg individually, preventing strength imbalances and forcing the core to stabilize the body. They target quads, glutes, hamstrings, and core effectively, and because they're challenging, you can achieve significant growth with just moderate weights. Fourth, the weighted chin-up. This movement is a powerhouse for the upper body, engaging lats, biceps, rear delts, forearms, and grip strength simultaneously. Few machines or row variations match the muscle activation of a weighted chin-up. Finally, the standing dumbbell overhead press. This is critical for developing strong, wide shoulders. It hits front and side delts, triceps, and traps. The standing dumbbell variation forces strict form, reducing reliance on momentum and support, ensuring maximum muscle engagement. Once you combine these 5 exercises, AI's analysis outlined an optimal weekly structure, training each muscle 2 to 3 times per week, respecting recovery windows, and adhering to precise rest times. Tension control and progressive overload creates a program that maximizes muscle growth while minimizing wasted effort. Each rep, each set, and each workout contributes directly to growth rather than being random or haphazard. Another overlooked factor is how workouts adapt over time. AI found that without increasing challenge, progress stalls. This doesn't mean blindly adding weight or sets. It's about measured, intentional increases. Each week, you push slightly more extra rep, slightly heavier weight, or marginally increased volume. Small increments compound into significant results over time. Even the so-called small details matter. Slowing the eccentric phase, maintaining strict form, and controlling breathing are all non-negotiable for optimal results. Each of these variables contributes to tension, stability, and efficiency. Neglecting them might not derail a beginner, but it drastically slows growth for intermediate and advanced lifters. AI's data confirmed this over and over. Consistency without precision is wasted effort. In addition to program structure, AI highlighted an unexpected truth about recovery. Training hard isn't enough. Recovery is a crucial variable. Optimal growth requires not just rest between sets, but also adequate sleep, nutrition, and hydration. Muscles need fuel and repair time. Ignoring these components can completely neutralize the efficiency of your program, no matter how smartly it's designed. Finally, AI emphasized mindset. Building muscle isn't just about following a checklist. It's about deliberate, conscious effort. Understanding that your brain will often quit before your muscles do, and pushing just beyond perceived limits, is what separates the 1% of lifters who make real gains from the 99% who plateau. It's also about respecting your body, listening to fatigue signals, and knowing when to push harder or back off to avoid injury. In practical terms, this means focusing on just 5 exercises: trap bar deadlifts, incline dumbbell presses, Bulgarian split squats, weighted chin-ups, and standing dumbbell overhead presses. These moves, combined with the right intensity, rest, and progressive overload, form a complete blueprint for growth. Every other exercise is optional at best, nice to do but unnecessary. AI's data-driven approach proves that simplicity, precision, and efficiency outperform complexity and randomness every time. Ultimately, the lesson from AI is clear. Building muscle isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. By deleting the 99% of exercises and strategies that don't matter, focusing only on what truly drives growth, and applying a systematic approach to intensity, rest, and progression, anyone can maximize results. No wasted sets, no guesswork, no trial and error, just consistent, measurable, and optimal growth from every workout.